Hello and welcome back to another video. Today I am doing my postpartum story update, whatever you want to call it. My experience postpartum, it was actually not really fun. Pregnancy was much easier for me, so let's start with my experience. So to start off, for everybody who's been not watching my birth story, I will link it up here in the cards for you guys. I had a free birth. I gave birth at home in our bedroom by myself. It was just me and my husband, and we didn't have a midwife or anyone with us. It was such a special experience for us, but more about my story in the other video. So I mentioned there that I did tear down in my lady area. I did not notice it though, because right after giving birth, everything was of course kind of swollen and didn't look right, but I didn't feel anything. Like usually people were telling me, oh, when you tear something, when you have to go pee, something burns and you know that you tear it down there. It didn't burn when I had to go to the bathroom at all. It was fine. I didn't feel anything. And in the beginning I was so scared because everybody was like, oh, it's so painful. And so I went to the bathroom and I was so scared. Nothing happened. It was just fine. I was like, okay, this is no big deal. This is fine. This is awesome. I don't know what everybody is talking about. So, and that was the first, I think, 3 or 4 days. My mom came to visit. She wanted to meet her granddaughter, her first granddaughter, and she came to visit and helped out a little bit. And after 4 days, I felt so good. I was like, yes, let's go for our first walk. I went to get some fresh air. It was nice weather outside, so we wanted to go outside. But after walking just for like, I think it was 3 minutes, I noticed I'm not feeling well. In the beginning, of course, my body was just adjusting to, after the exhausting birth, I was sleeping a lot and getting up, of course, I felt kind of dizzy and everything, but that was not it. I was just feeling I'm going to pass out. I didn't know why. I thought, what is wrong with me? I was drinking enough, I was eating enough, and I was getting up every day, so what's wrong? And all of a sudden I felt pain down there. Really bad pain, like pain. I have had lots of different kind of pain, but this was worse than giving birth. I mean, wow. And I was like, what is this? And I'm feeling so awful and I couldn't walk anymore. I was about to pass out. I was like, I need to go back home. So we turned around and my mom was just joking. It was like, oh, don't be such a baby and everything. So we turned around and it got worse and worse with the days. So that was Thursday. Then Friday I was like, this is so painful. My mom left that day and was like, I don't know what's going on. This is awful. And then that night my sister and her husband and my nephew came to visit and helping out over this weekend. And I was like, something is so wrong. I can't even get up. This is awful. I can't even change my baby's diaper because I'm going to pass out. I'm in so much pain. And then all of a sudden peeing burned like hell. Like, you have no idea. So I was looking down there and I checked. I was like, something is really weird down there. So I checked, and this is super TMI, but this is my experience. Something was literally hanging down this much. I ripped so bad down there. I was like, holy moly, it's hanging down. It looks, you have no idea. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm never gonna look the same. You will probably not be able to like fix it up again because it's been 5 days now, or it was 6 days by that time. I need to go to the hospital. This is awful. I don't know what to do. So since I couldn't find a midwife, not for my prenatal care, not for my birth, and not for the time after, there was no midwives available because they're cutting down so much in Germany, which is so sad. And so I went to the hospital on that Saturday. The doctor came, and I think I mentioned it in my birth story. This doctor was awful. He ripped down there and he was like pulling it apart, and it hurt so much. I was about to kick him. I was like, what are you doing? This hurts like so much. And he was like, oh yeah, you ripped pretty much everything down there. I did not tear like usually like down to my butt area. I teared up, so which is apparently not the normal case. And he was like, well, we can get you an operation, but then we need to like put you to sleep and you are not able to nurse for a few days, and I have to cut even more, which means you might not be able to enjoy sex anymore because you will not feel as much anymore. And I was like, nope, nope, not doing it, nope, nope. And he was like, well, then you have to just take your time. It will take a long time, but it can heal by itself. But yeah, you need to lay down, rest, and take lots of pain medicine, because did you take anything? I was like, no, I did not. And he was like, wow, well, that must hurt. And I was like, yep, it does. And he's like, well, I'm surprised that you made it so far without painkillers. And I was like, oh, thank you. And he was like, yeah, definitely take them 3 times a day. And he prescribed me some that are safe for breastfeeding. And I just, okay, I took it and I was like, all right. And he was like, well, yeah, rest as much as you can and it will heal up, but it will take some time. So that's what I did. That's why I have been so MIA, because I was on bed rest the first 3 weeks straight. We had my mother-in-law here. We had lots of people helping us out with cooking and cleaning and with my baby, because I was not able to get up and change her. I was not just nursing her. Even sitting up was so painful. I did not take the pain medicine. I took it once after we came back from the hospital, because the car ride was, you have no idea, it was so painful. And I was like, holy moly, I've never experienced that, and I never thought I would experience that. But it was really painful. So and that's the only time I took it. After that, I will just lay down, because when I laid down, it was okay. Just getting up even to the bathroom was so yeah, and I was so mad about that. And then my whole body was just so messed up. Because after 11 days postpartum, I started noticing that I was starting to shiver. I shivered and I was cold all the time. It was summer. It was super hot outside. I was like, what is going on? I was shivering even more and more, and I was like, this is weird. And I started freezing. I was like, okay, took 1 blanket, 2. I had 3 blankets and I was still shivering like crazy. I was like, what is going on? And then I noticed that I had lots of pain in my left breast. And I checked my temperature. It was 38.5. I was like, oh, I have a higher temperature. And I started shivering even more and more and more. And the pain got even worse. And it went up to 39.9, which is really high fever. And I was like, holy, I need to do something about this. So I called my sister, and it was a clogged milk duct. And so she told me, put your baby, cry if you need to, but baby needs to nurse on that side every 2 hours, and put a cooling or heating pad on there, and rest as much as you can. So that's what I did, but my baby did not nurse every 2 hours. She nursed every 4 hours, and she did not take my breast. So I called my husband, he was at work, and I was like, you need to get me a breast pump from the pharmacy right now. I need it. And he got it for me, and he brought it over, so I was pumping every 2 hours. It was really painful. But at night, like, it came in the morning and right before noon, and then in the afternoon, my temperature went back down and the pain got less and less and less. And at night, it was down at 38 again, 0.0. So I was doing great. That was not a fun experience. My sister had it twice, so I was kind of scared to get it again, but I did not. That was awesome. But since my body was dealing with that, the next day I noticed some itching on my lips. And I was like, oh no, that again. So I got some cold sore blisters, 2 really huge ones on the side and 1 on the top. I could not drink, I could not eat, and I was not able to kiss my daughter anymore because I wanted to be safe. So I washed my hands really often. I made sure that she was not touching me in my face. I was not kissing her for over 10 days until it was completely healed up. That was really, it was heartbreaking for me because I wanted to kiss her so many times and I couldn't, and it was just, let's just say I was really emotional during that time because I just broke my heart and I just couldn't do what I wanted to do and couldn't change her. I couldn't kiss her anymore. It was just too much for me. I was really emotional during that time. And then if that wasn't enough, after that healed up, I noticed itching in my armpits. I was, since postpartum, during nursing, I'm full-time nursing my baby, and I noticed that I was sweating a lot, especially at night, but also during the daytime when I was nursing her, like because all the hormones are changing, and that's totally normal, and I understand that. But I had to shower multiple times a day, and I did that too. But I noticed some itching, and then I checked and I noticed that I had a rash under my arm. It's like, really? A rash? I never had that before. I was just like, ugh. So I put some cream on there, and that helped. After 3 days, that was gone, because it started on the other side as well, but I was quick enough to not let it get this bad on the other side. So after that was gone, I was like, holy, this is not a fun experience. Like, so much itching on my lips, on my armpits, and down there was still hurting. It took 6 weeks to like heal up, so it was not painful anymore. It was still uncomfortable, but it was no pain anymore after 6 weeks. And now I am 9 weeks postpartum, and yesterday we went on a long hike, and it was the first time ever that I did not feel any like discomfort or anything. It's still not 100% healed. There's still a little tiny bit that still needs to heal up, but I do not feel it anymore unless I'm like wiping, then I need to be a little bit careful. But when I walk and I'm wearing pants, everything is fine. That had not been the case for the past weeks. So that is awesome that it healed up, and you cannot believe it. Even the stuff that was hanging down is completely healed. You can't even tell that it looked like that, which is amazing. It just shows me that nature and our bodies, our women, female, especially female bodies, are so amazing. They can completely heal up without stitches. It didn't, like, I didn't get any stitches, and it healed so amazingly, and I'm so thankful and blessed for that. And it just showed me, because in the beginning I was questioning myself, I was like, was it a right idea to do a free birth? Because if I would have been in the hospital, they could have stitched it up and I wouldn't have had those problems. But now I'm saying, no, it was right. It was the best experience for us to heal our hearts, and it was the best birth, and I'm just so thankful, and I would do it all over again. Even though with the pain and everything, I would do it all over again, just the way I did it, because it was just, yeah, the experience of giving birth to my daughter and being there just with my husband and having that beautiful moment, seeing her for the first time, just the two of us, was amazing. And everything that came after it, it's just, you forget about it. You really do. In the beginning, I was like, oh, this is taking forever, and I don't understand. But now I'm just like, no, it was fine. It was fine. Now we can do everything we want, and I'm so thankful to have our family and friends that helped out, and I just feel really blessed. But that was, I had lots of healing to do. I had lots of resting to do, and I couldn't do what I wanted to do. So that's why it happened so MIA. But this is my honest experience postpartum. I really thought you had the baby, and of course you were sweating and bleeding. Oh, my bleeding, yes, was just for 10 days. Then I only had some spottings for another 10 days, and then it was gone. And 4 weeks after giving birth, yeah, pretty much, a little bit over 4 weeks, I had my first period again. It was shorter than usually. Usually I have it for 4 days. I just had it for 3 days this time. And it was a little lighter than usually, but I hear everything is normal after giving birth, so I'm not too worried about that. So I had my first period again. I'm still breastfeeding full time, all day, all night. So yeah. Anything else? I think that was my postpartum experience. Not what I expected. I enjoy and cuddle and care for my baby, and yeah, it was a little different. Like, we did the cuddles and everything, but I couldn't kiss her for a long time and everything, and that was just so heartbreaking for me, and I was just so upset about that, and yeah. But yeah, that's what comes with it, and every birth and every postpartum story is different, and I know the next baby, it doesn't have to be the case with the next baby, so I'm not too worried about that. I'm not scared at all. Like I said, I would do it all over again for my little girl and for any future child that I still want to have. So it's just such a miracle having this little girl in my arms and seeing her smile and look at me, and just seeing her grow. She's so big already. Our girl is like 9 weeks today, and we measured her on the weekend, and today's Monday. So we measured her and she was already 60.5 centimeters long. She's such a long baby. Like, holy moly. Babies that I know, my cousin's baby and my friend's baby, they are 2 months older than her and they're just the same size. So, what? I have a long baby. So, yeah, this is my postpartum experience. Really honest, really TMI, but here you have it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.